Hello everyone, welcome to the game. This is going to be some Platinum 1 solo queue, but we do have some pretty big names in the game. We'll go ahead and introduce everyone. You can see for yourself, but here in the top lane we will have Lee Sin played by Megatron. In the jungle for the blue team it will be Valkrin, the previous support for Cognitive Gaming, a great Diamond 1 and Challenger player, going to be raking up, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do pretty well, but he is up against some strong opposition. Let's go ahead through the rest of this blue team. It will be Meat Mash supporting on Thresh with Flame and Sorrow on Jinx. And finally their mid laner Novlin playing Gragas, who has made a huge resurgence lately in the scene. Over on our red team, up in the top lane will be Sphinx, the top laner for YSO Esports. You might have seen them playing against LMQ this previous week. They did unfortunately lose, but they played very well and will be hoping to compete in the very next Challenger Series. I'm looking to do some interviews with their players soon. Our Miracle will be on the mid lane in Ziggs up against Gragas with Kung Fu Tex in the bot lane on Leona with the Solo King playing that AD carry Lucian. And finally, Esquire in the jungle on Hecarim. It's very interesting. Last game we saw the Ziggs Gragas matchup, and Ziggs has a really hard time since he relies on a lot of skill to escape with that satchel charge, but Gragas has such an easy engage coming in with the body slam, the explosive cask, and has some really good harass early. He can lose out early on to the bouncing bombs, to the auto attacks. The short fuse passive really buffs up those auto attacks and gives Ziggs a strong laning presence, but he has to really use that, or else Gragas is just going to survive this laning phase with his happy hour passive as well as the drunken rage W for some good sustain, and then eventually win out once he hits level 6. The bot lane can go either way. Thresh can make some pretty good plays and flays. Oh, Esquire caught out here in the jungle by Valkrin. Valkrin going in rather aggressively. Esquire does pop his ghost to get away, and Valkrin's going to be looking to take away the red, but Esquire comes right back. Valkrin jumps onto him, and this is getting close. Ziggs and Gragas do come in, but Navlin moves on to Miracle. Valkrin is going to flash over the wall. He gets the slow there. Navlin throws down the ignite, the auto attack, and the final one comes out from Valkrin. That will be first blood here for Navlin. Really good play, not able to secure the red buff that was stolen away by Esquire, but getting the first blood there was fine enough of a trade for them. Even though it is reduced in value, every kill in the first 2 minutes of the game is 60% of the base value, and then that scales up to 100% at 4 minutes. So at 3 minutes, a kill at 3 minutes is about 80% of its value, which isn't too bad. Valkrin falling low here to the red buff. Oh goodness, he finally had the last Q for the health back. Will get the red buff, but a light breeze should knock him over, but he'll stay safe for now. Goodness, he has no health here on this spectator, but finally going to recall there. Picking up that first assist should put him in a nice spot. He did start with a longsword, which is something I didn't notice early on. I thought he might have had the Hunter's Machete, but instead he wanted to go for the aggressive start. Now picking up a Doran's Blade and a health potion will really come into an aggressive spot. Hope it works out for him. Sphinx doing some nice damage onto Megatron, and Lee Sin usually wins out early against most top laners. Renekton is one that he has trouble against. If he can consistently land his... Oh, wow, a sun landing there onto Flame and Star. He flashes instead of taking the lantern, but it should keep him alive for now. Sphinx finding a kill on the Lee Sin up in the top lane will be winning this 1 versus 1 matchup. And after that first death, Lee Sin is going to have a really rough time. He does pick up a Doran's shield and blade to try and sustain through the lane. The Flay lands on the Kung Fu Tex, and Valkrin is moving in here from the bush. He's going to be able to jump right there on the Solo King. He finds the slow as well on the Kung Fu Tex. The zap lands through all the minions. Meat Mash flashes in for the Flay. They find 1 kill on the Kung Fu Tex. Won't be able to follow in on the Solo King, but still a nice kill found out of a Valkrin gank, and Meat Mash's Flash Flay really opening them up for the blue team. Going to be 2 kills to 1, 500 kills in the lead. And starting off with a pretty solid advantage, but they have to be careful to Sphinx up in the top lane. Lee Sin, if he lands all of his Sonic Waves, can win out his trades, but Renekton is just such an easier champ to play that he can weave through the minions. Navlin going in. Our Miracle did ignite him. Navlin will be able to survive, but Valkyrie didn't quite find the spot. Mid lane is hard to gank for Rengar pre-level 6, since he doesn't have his jump mechanic unless the mid laner runs a little bit too close there to the sides. Sphinx trading on with Megatron, just continuing to auto-attack him down. The Cold of Meek doing massive damage as well as sustaining him back up to full. And Megatron has to be careful about using that safeguard forward. Valkrin doing his best in the mid lane just to keep Navlin alive, try and throw down some pressure onto our Miracle, and just he wants Navlin to get in a good spot come level 6 so that he can get that engage. Kung Fu Tech's coming in for the gank though. Navlin has to be careful. He does body slam away from the Zenith Blade. I'm not sure it would have connected anyway, but he stays safe for now. And he has that Happy Hour passive, which is looking to do him pretty well, regenerating 2% of his health every time he casts a spell. Kung Fu Tech's moving back here into the bottom lane. Does throw down a pink ward in that bush, which does live forever until someone gets in there and takes it out all of its 5 health. And so that's going to be a pretty good play unless Valkrin can get in there and wear it down. But right now that'll provide him a lot of vision there in that river. Flame and Sorrow just doing what he can to keep the lane from pushing into his turret. He is not farming up too well, but a nice Death Sentence lands. That could turn around. Valkrin takes in the Lantern from behind. Solo King has to be careful here. His flash is down, though. Flame and Sorrow going to... No, it's Valkrin who takes out the last hit. Kung Fu Tech will he escape from this one, though. The flay backwards slows him down for the time being. Meatmash going in for the dive here. But the shield comes out from Kung Fu Tech's. Flame and Sorrow finds the kill, gets excited to run out of there. And that was a really good management. Meatmash did actually grab the kill, but it was still really solid management of gank in from the top lane. Sphinx finding yet another kill onto Lee Sin, now 2-0, looking to dominate this top lane. And this is, I think, going to be the war of the challenger players. Sphinx and Valkyrin fighting back and forth. I'm not too sure about the previous levels of these other players here. They're certainly doing well, but Lee Sin's just struggling up in the top lane, and Valkyrin's really just running over this map. Sphinx is going to steal away this blue buff alongside X-Wire, who actually smites it away for himself. But that's going to be a really good pickup here as they look to give Miracle their own blue buff soon, I would expect at least. Navlin doing his best to continue to farm out this mid lane, is staying rather even with Miracle, doesn't land the body slam there, but gets a nice barrel roll, and is just looking to go even, since eventually his initiation power is so strong that he'll be able to set up some really nice plays for Meatmash and even Megatron to come in for a potential Dragon's Rage back. Sphinx doing what he can up in the top lane, hasn't been back to buy for a while, so is sitting on 1,400 gold, and could go for the aggressive Tiamat build to cut down on Renekton's animation times and do a lot of damage, or he could go for a slightly safer build to be the tank for his team. With a Leona and a Hecarim, though, he might not need to. He might, with that longsword, go for the Ravenous Hydra, which would be a really strong way to carry this game through. It looks like Megatron is going for the more defensive build with a Chain Vest, probably going for a Sunfire Cape here. I'm not too sure what else he might pick up at that, unless he's just going to sit on it for a while and opt into some other items. Sphinx farming his best, going to be at 69 CS, the highest in the game, and will finally go back to recall. Solo King comes out with the culling in the bottom lane, but Flame and Star are not taking too much damage from that. Unsurprising that the culling doesn't have the best level 6, and really, it's not too useful except for its range and its minion damage early on. Navlin now going to be looking aggressive in the mid lane, hitting level 6. He does have that explosive cask potential, which is rough to get out of from a Ziggs to really line up that satchel charge to escape. And if it's comboed by a gank, Esquire moving in here on the bottom, though. This is going to be a 3 versus 3. Valkyrin falling low on the back. Esquire doing his best to get in here. He finds one kill, but might fall here to the auto with that Flame and Star. Takes out the kill, gets the double buff, and is going to look to continue on here. The barrier comes out from Solo King to keep him alive for now, but Kung Fu Tex has to be careful. Flame and Star is moving in, has the red buff slow. Is he going to be able to find another one, though? Miracle coming in to keep them off, and could look to go aggressive here. Zenith Blade connects on the Flame and Sorrow, and Ziggs is there. Solo King grabbing at the last kill. Will get the double buffs. Flashes out of the explosive cast. Navlin trying to get the barrel roll, but the Relentless Pursuit is enough to get him to escape. And our Miracle and Kung Fu Tex won't chase here on the Navlin, but really did come out in the advantage there. Take out what I believe was 2 kills for 1. It was such a chaotic fight. Our Miracle finds a bouncing bomb to Valkrin, but doesn't have the Mega Inferno Bomb, so won't be able to follow it up quite yet. Blue team's still in a bit of an advantage, just 500 gold though, won't be in quite as good of a spot as they were before. Esquire just going to hold this mid lane, waiting for Ziggs to come back, doing a good amount of damage to Navel in there. He has his Spirit of the Elder Lizard for a nice amount of DPS when he gets into a fight, but he won't be too tanky, so I expect him to up into a little bit more health and armor coming soon. A Spirit Visage as well, a nice pickup on Hecarim. But right now he's just looking to go aggressive. That is the Tiamat picked up from Sphinx, and you can see how he goes in for the stun, then immediately Tiamat's to cancel the animation and get off the maximum amount of damage. And Megatron with the Chain Vest won't be taking quite as much of that auto attack harass, and will be able to survive a little bit. That was a good decision from him. He's also keeping up in farm just a bit. He's still about 18 behind 3 waves, but it's not as bad as it could be with the huge start that did come out from Sphinx. Miracle farming up the mid will come out to a pretty good CS number, about a wave ahead of Gragas, but it's looking to be returned. They're really going quite even, and it's just a matter of how they play it. If Miracle is able to stay safe, the Solar Feather lands, that's Zenith Blade, but the Lantern is there. Flamestar able to take that out, and Esquire can't get in there for the gank. And that's why it's so dangerous to go for the AD carry in that lane when there's a Threst, because the Lantern is always there for the escape. A lot wasted there from the red team, and I wouldn't be surprised if blue team maybe went for a Dragon soon. They know that the Culling is down as well as the Solar Flare, and those are going to be down for about another minute. Navelin doing his best to push up the mid lane, though, is going to really open up that bottom river for some roam. And I wouldn't expect Miracle to be so cavalier with his roaming now. Now that Navelin is able to take out the minions so easily, there is the body slam on the Miracle, the explosive cast forcing him back, and the satchel charge not able to move Miracle anywhere. The flash body slam goes in on the Miracle, but the Mega Inferno Bomb tries to return some damage. The Ignite is there as well, but Valkrin comes in, he grabs the Bola and is able to take it out for the last hit. Down in the bottom lane, Esquire does move in, grab a kill onto the Thresh. He might continue on here for the dive. There's no turret damage yet. He's finally going to start taking it up. The Zenith Blade comes across, and that's just enough tankiness. Valkyrie might come in to clean it up, though. There's the Bola on the Kung Fu Tex. He jumps out of the bush and immediately takes out the kill. Now looking to continue on the Solo King. He has the snare ready. Navelin going to come up and try to find the kill. There it is on Esquire. So 2 kills picked up by this roam. A good opportunity found here by blue. Does keep them slightly in the gold advantage, but it's almost even now. Just 200 gold between the teams isn't even a cloth armor. And so this is looking to be rather close here between both. Sphinx continuing to get bigger in the top lane. Megatron at least returning a bit, but Renekton will scale a little bit better than Lee Sin, especially into the mid game with that Dominus as well as the huge AoE damage coming out of Hydra. His sustain in fights will be enormous with his Cole the Meek and his AoE lifesteal procs. Megatron just doing his best to keep this turret alive. Is not doing too hot either. It's on about half health, and a single good push from Sphinx and possibly Esquire could turn it back around. Megatron taking a lot of damage up there. Just goes to show how much he's struggling here in the top lane, even with the Chain Vest pickup. However, Valkrin is looking strong at 4-0-2, as well as Gragas 3-0-1. Miracle just forced to stay mid and continue clearing out those waves. Is farming decently, but has taken 3 deaths for himself. Navelin catching on the Sphinx up here. Esquire moves him from the back, the explosive cast perfectly timed. Esquire is just a little bit too fast, though. He does move in for the shutdown. Valkyrie now trying to fight this out. Miracle's coming in, and there is the onslaught of shadows. Mega Inferno Bomb going to find the kill. Actually, I believe it was just the auto attack that got it. Megatron now looking to do his best to survive on the side. Will be able to escape off. No, Esquire coming in with the devastating charge, but is a little afraid of Megatron's damage going in alone. And so, 2 kills taken out here for the red team, giving up nothing in return. Esquire doing a lot of damage there, actually going for a particularly aggressive build. Buying the Sheen will eventually go for the Trinity Force, unless he goes for the Frosted Fisticuffs, but I think it's pretty unlikely, since that Trinity Force really works so well in Hecarim's kit. The movement speed, as well as the attack damage, a little bit of health, and the procs with the Sheen really going to give him a huge amount of damage coming in here. He has to be careful about going to Glass Cannon, that he doesn't get bursted down, but as long as he has Renekton as a front line, he might not need it. Kung Fu Tex as well is going to scale well into this late game as long as he stays ahead. He has 4 assists to his name, and this Ancient Coin is going to be building up a nice bit of gold. So far, 208 gold earned. as well as 61 from the passive. Solo King farming up pretty well, is going to be about 20 ahead of Flame and Sorrow. Zenith Blade not quite connecting there. Oh, Miracle caught up in a bad spot. Valkrin going to be able to take the kill there. The aggression onto Nalin, not finding anything there. Navlin just going to push up this lane once again and most likely recall. And Valkrin's fighting a lot all over the map, but he is just a Rengar, and I'm not sure if he can carry this game single-handedly. He's 5-1-3. He's picked up a Tiamat on top of his Brutalizer. He does have a particular tanky Lee Sin with that Sunfire cape, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to keep him alive. There's Death Sentence landing on the Kung Fu Tex. He walks in there, gets the flay. Spectator mode decides that I need to look at the base. Culling comes across onto Navlin. Kung Fu Tex flashes out of here. Valkrin now looking to come up, but the Onslaught of Shadows is there. Navlin falling low to the AoE. Meat Mash might be the first casualty. The red buff, no damage over time from the Spirit of the Elder Lizard. Now that is a return kill onto the Leona. The zap lands on the Esquire. Can they find that last hit? I'm not sure of it. No Super Mega Death Rocket there. And that will be Esquire escaping, but still 2 kills found for 1. Mega Inferno Bomb comes across, but does not find its target. And a turret taken here for the blue team, going to keep them up just ever so slightly. 500 gold here. Sphinx continuing to turret in the top lane, does dive in here on the Megatron. Should be able to find the kill. The flash comes across. The Sonic Wave. Now the explosive gas, because their Navlin actually grabs a kill on the Sphinx under the turret. Megatron able to escape there with some nice moves, did flash away, and ultimately survive there. Well played from Lee Sin to keep Sphinx from getting out of control. No spree gold given up. But I think Esquire realizes now he might need to get a little bit more tanky, since Sphinx has gone for this rather aggressive Ravenous Hydra build. He has picked up a Giant's Belt. And I feel like at this point a Randuin's Dome would be really strong out of there to be able to jump onto that Jinx and keep her slowed in time for the rest of the damage to rain in here, both from the Solo King and Miracle. And this is looking to be a close game. 200 gold between the teams. No Dragon attempt out yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if either team went for it soon. Blue team really setting up around here, and the red team is back far enough. This could be their chance. After clearing out the mid lane, Miracle's going to be frozen here. Esquire is moving in closer and closer, and they have to capitalize on this opportunity. There, Valkrin's going to go into Miracle and burst him down immediately. Takes him out 1 versus 1, and that's the assassination potential. I said that I didn't think Rengar could carry the game single-handedly, but I might have been wrong. Ravenous Hydra and Brutalizer, 8, 1, and 2, and Valkrin's looking strong. The zap doesn't land on the Esquire, and he should be able to escape from this one, but I'm not sure the turret will be so lucky. Look at the damage coming out there from the Pow Pow from Flame and Sorrow. Valkrin moving in here as well, going to get up a little bit, taking this to the W. Take it out quickly. Esquire now trying to escape. The explosive cask connects onto the Onslaught of Shadows, and so he does escape from this one. Solo King does what he can from the side, did throw across that culling, but didn't find too much for his efforts. Meat Mash going to spot him out there, but not go in for the death sentence. Now blue team will be looking to set up this dragon, but actually ping back since red team is up. Esquire is moving in here. Now Navlin will just find the barrel roll, but Esquire taking a bit of poke there might keep blue team in the game around this dragon. Esquire going to opt for the blue buff here. Take that away, not give it up to Ziggs, which might be a mistake. Now blue team will just look to delay this while the rest of their team joins. Valkrin is opting to push this bottom lane instead of come in here, and he could get ganked here by Esquire and Sphinx. He's going to look for the jump across there on Esquire. Can he take the lantern out? He does. He does escape right over here. Now I might be looking for blue team to turn this. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Lee Sin is continuously pushing on. We'll be able to take out that turret. They might lose a dragon here. Let's see what Valkrin can do. He's stealth. He's going to jump over. Super Mega Death Rocket did come across. Valkrin comes in. He gets the Smite Steal. He takes away the dragon. Now Sphinx looks to turn it in aggressively. Pops the Dominus. But the huge Solar Flare going to catch on the Flame and Sorrow. Take him out immediately. Meat Mash soon to fall. And Navlin did find a kill there onto the Solo King. Esquire and Miracle are low. The Flash Body Slam came out. The barrel roll not finding Miracle. Now Navlin is the one looking to run away. Esquire is on low health. Mega Inferno Bomb comes across. Connects onto him. Barrel roll comes across, but that is Kung Fu Tex. with the Zenith Blade, grabbing the kill there. Valkrin just going to farm up, did escape from that one, but didn't find too much besides the excellent Baron Seal. Now could be caught up in a rough spot, going to jump on the Kung Fu Dex. Look at the damage, though. He has to escape from this one with the Hecarim coming in the outside of Shadows with the Fleet. That will be the shutdown, and Valkrin gets caught out there with his pants around his ankles, pushing in a bit too far for his own good. Megatron did find a lot of damage on the inner turret, isn't able to take it out quite yet. Miracle will look to defend this up. Megatron might want to go into him, though. He doesn't find the slow, but there is a Sonic Wave. Doesn't choose to follow it up with the Resonating Strike, and will leave this turret on low health, but might try and push it out just a bit. He has to be careful of Esquire coming in. He has his Ghost, no Onslaught of Shadows, but he will take the Q and retreat off here with the Safeguard. Blue team with the 2,000 gold advantage now, looking to be in a pretty good spot. They have a solid late game, both from Jinx's carry potential as well as Gragas' initiation, but they do have to answer to the wave clear from Ziggs, as well as the really strong mid-game team fight that comes out from the combination of Renekton, Hecarim, and Leona's AoEs. The Solo King as well, finally picking up some damage, has a Trinity Force as well as a Bilgewater Cutlass going for the Blade of the Ruined King. Not only does it give him the attack speed and attack damage he needs for his ultimate, but it also gives him a double proc on every one of his gunslinger passes for the Blade of the Ruined King, which does apply on hit effects. Now the fight's going down in the mid lane. Valkyrie does find the kill on the Miracle. I wasn't too sure where the first fight would fall, but it will be here. Sphinx now trying to turn around on the Valkyrie. I'm not sure if he has help to do so. Explosive Cast going to knock him away. He might be looking to escape here, but the body slam is enough. Navalin doing massive damage and no magic resist from Sphinx, finding him in a casket for the next 30 seconds. Red team did return a turret up here, or down here, but it could be Megatron up in the top lane who grabs this inner turret. It'll just be up to the red team to try and get back there in time. I'm not sure they'll be able to, especially with the low health, and instead it will be Hecarim looking to defend up in the middle lane. So with this turret falling, that will be 5 here for the blue team, 3,000 gold up, and looking to be in a pretty strong spot. Still not finding any conclusive victories, but just slowly eking out some turrets, some dragons, and now have to hope not to lose too much off this. Esquire going to do his best to push up here in the middle lane. Miracle and the Solo King coming in from behind as well. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. Sorry, I forgot I had done that, but no one said about it in the mod chat. Esquire going to do his best along with the Solo King to take that out. The almost double Trinity Force here does a lot to take out the turrets. Those procs really wearing down structure health quickly. But Hecarim also doing his best to build up some defenses. Has the Giant Spell, but hasn't turned anything yet. Is opting for the Trinity Force first. Renekton has gotten a bit of tankiness from the Sunfire Cape, which is really what they're relying on here. Ziggs not finding too much ability power either. Only has a couple Dorans on top of his Athens, compared to the Rabadon's Death Cap here from Gragas, going to come out with a lot of ability power here in the mid-game. Thresh is going for an Aegis of the Legion, which could turn soon into a Locket of the Iron Solari, which will provide him with a lot of teamfight potential. He has a Nomad's Medallion, which will go soon into the Talisman of Ascension. Neither sports a Talisman of Ascension. Instead, Leona has opted for the Sunfire Cape, which I see as a pretty typical pickup. It not only goes well with her innate diving abilities, but it gives her a good amount of damage to stay in the middle of the enemy fight, or of the fight, and do a lot of damage. And now Sphinx goes on to Megatron here, but it's going to be a rough spot with Esquire coming in from behind, and it'll just be up to Lee Sin to escape here. He Dragons reaches Esquire back. He still has the Onslaught of Shadows, though. He might not need to use it here. Megatron falls low, throws down the ward, but doesn't find the jump to it. He's just delaying his own death here. Unless that, no, there's Esquire with the burn damage. Sphinx gets in there with the Cull. The Meekin does find the kill. A lot of time wasted, but blue team wasn't able to find anything for it, except a nice kill down on the Miracle. Valkrin doing massive damage here with his Black Cleaver Ravenous Hydra combo, as well with the Bone Tooth Necklace. Now getting a couple stacks there. Esquire comes in for a huge Onslaught of Shadows, but Meatmaster's just there for a bit of defense. The box goes down. Nice Explosive Cast going to push Sphinx back, and the first kill does come down to Esquire. Solo King tries to jump in there, but Navalin is there trying to burst him down. He flashes out to safety. Navalin will fall here to the Ignite from Sphinx. Flame and Sorrow doing his best to retreat off the side here. Valkyrin is there from behind. Meatmash could fall here. Cole the Meat comes in. The flash is over there for the stun. The Zenith Blade finds on the Valkyrin here, and he's going to do his best to survive. He is able to take take out Leona, but he does fall to Cold Meek from Sphinx. A triple kill there for Renekton will eventually fall to Flame and Sorrow. Solo King trying to run away from here. The zap will not land, and that will be Lucian escaping. A huge fight, which I believe ended up being a 4-for-4. Miracle finally coming back here, tries to turn around. There's a Mega Inferno bomb. Flame and Sorrow doing his best. He does take out the kill there. The lifesteal is enough, and he escapes off of the back here. Miracle, I think he missed a bouncing bomb in there. Couldn't quite find the burst damage to take out Jinx. And nice pickup there from Jinx, getting a lot of kills out of there. 3 in total. Will now be 3, 3, and 8. And look to answer this Lucian. Has a Static Shiv and a Bloodthirster. Could go for either a Last Whisper or an Infinity Edge as her next item. Coming into a nice late game carry potential. Lucian has finished his Blade of the Ruined King. Does have nice double procs to take down the high health targets on the enemy team. Most notably Lee Sin, who has just finished off the Dragon here. A 4,000 gold lead here to the blue team. Won't be too big at this point. Will probably be about as big as, 2,000 gold was 10 minutes ago. And so they have to be careful about how they treat this lead. They can't go too cavalier with it, but they also can't let it fall. Esquire will see that the Dragon has been taken and actually ping out the Baron buff. They don't have any vision on it, and blue team could be doing it. They are not yet, but they are taking a pretty good vision advantage over the area. Pink ward placed there by Meatmash, going to spot out and see that red team is relatively blind here in the area. Valkrin stealing away the red buff, could be caught here. Kung Fu Tech's going to come in from the side. Sphinx as well. They're looking to surround him, but they don't know he's there. They're instead going to just try and stop this Baron. Jinx is running towards the bottom lane to take away the red buff. And I'm not sure what's going to happen here. It's just a lot of lack of vision on red team's part, I believe, leading them to make some uninformed decisions and ultimately have to fall back off of the Baron here. Even if they were to throw a ward over the wall, it would be taken out by that pink ward. And I really could see a Baron from here from blue team. They'd have to be careful not to get caught out. If red team got anywhere close, they would have to retreat for fear of the onslaught of shadows as well as the solar flare from Leona. This is some nice engage here from the blue team, followed from the red team, followed up by a lot of damage from Sphinx and Miracle. Solo King still getting into his groove. Should be able to hold his own against most members, at least being able to escape with the Blade of the Ruined King. His calling is going to finally start doing some damage now that he has a second rank of it and that he has a good amount of attack speed and attack damage. The Aegis of the Legion was eventually picked up here by Thresh, and so he will have a good amount of defense on his team. Keep Jinx alive, who now has picked up the Last Whisper, looking to fire down through that armor on the enemy team, which will be a nice pickup to chip through both the Randuin's Omen on Hecarim as well as that Sunfire Cape on Sphinx, but it will be Esquire going in with the Onslaught of Shadows, trying to focus on the Flame and Sorrow, and he's soling up pretty well right now. Megatron going to come in for the defense. Valkrin is pushing in the bot lane. He won't be here for the fight, but that is Esquire going down for the first kill. Solo King doing his best to fight on the end of this. Megatron might go down here. The Ignite is ticking down, and he does finally fall to Sphinx there, but the rest of the blue team might be able to escape off the end here. Flame and Sorrow almost going down to the bouncing bomb. Valkrin did eventually recall off the bottom here and will come to rejoin his team. He has to be afraid of the Dragon being taken here by the red squad, but by losing their jungler, that really diminishes their chances. Now, retreating on low health, this could be blue team's opportunity. They're pinging it out, and they do have Valkrin here with a lot of damage. The lifesteal from the Ravenous Hydra could be enough to finish it out. Navlin has to be careful about how much damage he takes, and with Sphinx coming in from behind, throwing down, no, he's using the rocket launcher. Yeah, has to use the Pow Pow for the movement speed. Solo King throws in an Ardent Blaze, will grab some vision. The Sat Charge is there as well. Bouncing Bomb comes across, but the blue team does take out the Baron with a nice smite from Valkrin. Now Solo King doing his best to escape off the end here. He's sitting on that relentless pursuit, but the Flay's going to come in. He does dodge out of the zap, and he won't fall down here. Red team is on the back foot now, 6,000 gold behind against a Baron buff opponent. Really going to be in the worst spot they have been in yet this game. And I expect to see Blue make their play soon. Miracle just doing his best to keep the lanes pushed out. They can't afford to have too many knocking on the door of their base, which is where it's looking to be now, that mid and top lane pushing in rather strongly. And I'm sure that blue team wouldn't mind taking down inhibitor soon. That's really what they have to do to force the pressure they currently have and to keep that up. there on everyone on red here. Ziggs is getting stronger. He has that the still. He's looking to buy his Anya's Hourglass, but he still doesn't have the cash to do so. If we check that, he finally does have that 500 gold, and we'll be able to grab that. But he's against a Gragas, who's an entire item and a half ahead of him. It's going to be a pretty rough spot. A lot of this red team has been forced into home guard boots. That's 2 members so far who picked them up. Lucian hasn't been able to pick up his boots 2 yet. Is going to try and pick up the last Whisper first with that pickaxe and longsword. Meat Mash goes in for the Death Sentence, doesn't quite connect onto there. And this is the siege coming out from blue. They have pretty good siege here from both Flame Isaro and Navlin, as well as the catch potential from Meat Mash. Valkrin just going to wait off here to the side. He knows he can't do too much in terms of poking, but he's just waiting for the engagement to be able to jump in onto Miracle or Solo King and burst them down quickly, which has been his role for most of the game. Hecarim is waiting on the base, might be waiting for the engagement to come in with his movement speed, which does give him a large amount of attack damage. But right now, this turret will be kept alive pretty well. Miracle doing a good job keeping those out. Esquire going to run in there with huge amounts of movement speed. They do catch on to Navlin. He throws out the explosive cask and does survive for now. The flash came out. Kung Fu Tech's trying to dive in there, but Valkrin does come in here and take out a kill on the Solo King. He's still fighting on the Sphinx. A double kill for Valkrin. A kill picked up by Flame and Sorrow as well, and this should be the inhibitor turret and inhibitor here for the blue team. Valkrin flashes in. He gets a slow onto Miracle. Navlin is there from the side. The barrel roll comes in to cut him off. The Zhonya's is popped, but he does fall to the Sonic Shiv from Flame and Sorrow. Esquire comes in here trying to find what he can. Megatron staying alive. Navlin grabbing a kill there. The entire ace here. Every member of blue team alive and low health. If Ziggs could get in and Mega Inferno Bomb, I'm sure he would love to, but he's both dead. And that ability is on cooldown. This could be the game here for blue. They have such fast turret taking potential with both Valkrin, Megatron, and Flame and Sorrow. That's the first Nexus turret down. The second follows quickly after, and the Nexus finally going down for the blue team here. Good game. Well played by Valkrin. Unfortunately, Sphinx couldn't quite hold up. Ziggs had a pretty rough game here at 1-9-5. Couldn't quite stay alive long enough. And Valkrin's assassination potential was really just too strong. Being able to jump in there onto the Solo King and then hold his own up against the likes of Sphinx. So good game to the blue team. An exciting game.